Hey YouTube. So Ibanez D, or Ibanez. I've got an Ibanez in. This is a silver cadet by Ibanez. It's got a Z at the start. This is actually my third attempt doing this video. I got a phone call and then I ran out of space. It's like really annoying. So I've done the first minute 3 times. So I'm trying to repeat myself. So I was thinking the Z Silver Cadet in one of the Pink Panther films. His Inspector Clouseau's car's the Silver Hornet, not the Silver Cadet, but very nearly. And it's like a deja vu, you know, like an old Citroen 2CV. I think it's might even have wings and stuff on it, and flames painted on it. And there's a bit where he goes like, "We'll take the Silver Cadets," and they go out to it, and then I think they sit in it, and then they turn it on, and then all the doors fall off, and then it just turns into dust, and then it's like, "You're right. Well, we'll take your car, Kato." So that's the Silver Cadet. So this was in for meant to be a refretting or changing some frets because it was buzzing, and the frets weren't bad enough. They were a wee bit. They're round about the cowboy chords. A bit bad, so I've stoned them down a bit and levelled them. But that wasn't the problem. The problem was the tuners that were on it, which were actually on the ground down here. I wonder if I can find it. One of them, the E string, it just buzzed. So it was fine. See if you just stopped it rattling, it was kind of all right. But I was looking at it, so I was thinking, I could maybe replace one. But there's one of them there. But see, I mean, they kind of look alright. I don't know if you can I hold that up? You can see like right there, they've actually cracked. The headpiece has actually cracked on the. So it's not only the shaft board, but it's actually, if you hold the shaft solid, it's the top. So I mean, I wonder if I can see if I just. So that's the quality level of these tuners. So I mean, obviously they're going straight to the bin. I can't use them for anything. Even a joke guitar doesn't count for that. So I've just replaced it with these are just ones off a Squire, which are all right. It's still the same, you know, the sort of slightly cheapy type, but they're all right. I think maybe they just last a bit longer. But it just, you go back to '94 and they didn't have that ability that guitars have now, where if you look on eBay in China, you can buy machine heads for $5 a set for good ones. Back then I think you had to make your own sort of thing in the factory. Yeah, so this is a precursor. We didn't get the Geo range, and I should know this because I've actually got the first Geo. Is it 99 is the first Geo? Ibanez, the Ibanez, the Geo's the sort of Epiphone Squire version of Ibanez. My bass, 5-string bass, they only made it for 2 years. And in the first year, I think it's 98, it's just an Ibanez, and in 99, it's exactly the same bass, but it's called a Ibanez Z Geo. And then they didn't make it anymore. So actually, that's quite a good bass. So before that, there were cheaper versions of Ibanez, this being kind of that. So we've got a Stratocaster, sort of, but it is a bit more RG-ish. There's actually, I've got unrelated, but from a different chap, there's an RG there. It's a kind of more rounded out one. Got an interesting finish. So it's kind of, you can see the ripples in it. It's also very thin. It's a thin guitar. I don't know if it's actually, if I measure it, I bet you it's not actually that much thinner than a normal guitar, but no, there's not any bit. Well, okay, I would say that's 38 very roughly thick, and a normal guitar would be more like 46 or something like that. So it feels quite small. It's thinner that way. Yeah, so humbucker single, Strat type trem. I had to replace the tuners because they were just guff. It's got a very Ibanez-y feeling neck though. It's really thin, and it's like, as a beginner guitar, it's like pure. Sometimes a really thin neck can make it really easy. It's really easy to play. So I mean, I think those tuners are maybe just your luck. Maybe that one's, because it's near 2000. It's well vintage. It's 25 years old, so they just don't last that long. I could maybe have upgraded the tuners on it, but I don't think the chap wants to spend really any money. So that was why I didn't. I wasn't going to do a full refret anyway, because it's kind of not worth doing it. These are just Squire ones. They're fine, and they're much better than the ones that are in there. These ones aren't all bent and you can't snap them by physically just going, yeah. Yeah, so I'm playing through my wee Laney VC15, do that cabinet, there's no pedals on just now, neck pickup. But it does have a very Ibanez Z feeling neck, it's really thin, not like a, it's not the Wizard profile because it's kind of square, but it's position 4. Copyright. So I could have played it absolutely note for note perfect, but then middle position. 4 out of 2. So this one, in position 2, it's the humbucker and the middle pickup. So it's not. It doesn't have the automatic coil split thing, which I can do with this just using a normal switch, I think. But it wasn't asked for. I don't think it really. It's still a good usable sound. It's not like you know, you get a guff sound. I mean, when I did the Yamaha ERG wiring, I put coil splits and I made them individually so that you could have, because I figured it was actually both sounds are quite good. It's quite good having the single and the single, and it's quite good having the humbucker and the single. They're both usable. Then humbucker and bridge. I'm trying to wean myself onto reverb, so I've got the reverb turned on because people tend to like it, and just the amp reverb. But then it seems perfectly good. One thing I did notice, you're never going to see it, but see there where the card is on the back of the. You're never going to see it. Nah. It's not really visible. It's kind of, it's like it's not been sanded all the way. It's like you can sort of see where it's been carved, it's been carved, it's been carved. So there's almost like graduation lines, which is quite weird. That's the bit you notice. Apart from that, the neck seems really good. Rosewood fingerboard. And it was alright. So what did I do? I mean, I set it up. The truss rod was actually alright. I shimmed the neck a little bit, switch cleaner and tightened up the bolts on the 2 knobs, and the output jack. Maybe not. Maybe give that another wee scoosh of the contact cleaner. Actually, I've got to go to I ordered contact cleaner and it doesn't fit through the letterbox. I've got to go and pick it up from the post office because I'm out of the stuff. I'll stick in a wee backle trackle. For a bit more volume than that. The same exact thing. No reverb. Governor pedal for that distortion. rapid on. I just used to be holding quite well on this trem. I might try absolutely well in it, see if I can hold, because no Strat can hold a proper well in. Okay, so proper welling, but to be honest, you can't do proper welling on any Strat trim really. But it was holding alright for doing the sort of the shimmery type stuff, you know, the sort of not pure mental. Because as soon as I touch this, it's going to put it back. Yeah, okay. So I mean, for a main guitar, for a learning thing, yeah, totally get one of these, but maybe get one that someone's fixed up a little bit the way I have. It's like the tuners really were bad. You know, if you're buying these things, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, you know, if you took it into a shop for a refret and that's what you asked for, they would maybe refret it, when in actual fact it was the tuner that was rattling. I mean, I've got the action down pretty damn low. I only ever attempt to do that sort of thing when it's a really low. I can't do it, but I mean, it's like, I'm not any better at it on like an expensive guitar than I am on this one. But it gives me it makes me want to try and do it. Pickups seem alright as well. And you get, you do get, your clean. Your Stratty sounds are there. And then you get your bit more rock, your rocky sounds. So maybe if you fancy a guitar for like modding up, like for messing about with, definitely worth having a look at. It is like it's a Z thin, but why are the guitars the thickness they are? Is it just because that's how thick? It could just be because that's how thick a Telecaster was when Leo Fender invented it. Therefore they just make all guitars that thickness. There's not really any reason why it shouldn't be. a bit thinner. Obviously you get the Ibanez Z series, which are super thin. So it could actually be a player improvement. But no, I think it's alright. It's pretty good. The silver cadet. I'm maybe have to look them up and see what they go for. Again, it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe the frets I've kind of done them. They were kind of a bit used. So they're now all perfectly level. I don't know if they really were. When I plugged it in, the action was a bit high and stuff like that. So I didn't really do that. I just stoned them down. But quite a nice wee guitar. Definitely not it's not on my avoid list. Definitely, I'll definitely, maybe if I see one of these for the right price, with the right price being sort of when it doesn't have. Obviously, I'm not bothered about the tuners. It needs to have new tuners anyway. Assuming that the ones that were on it were, well, they were original. They were guff. So I need to get one that's maybe got a couple of tuners missing, or when the electrics don't work. That's the sort of thing that I would definitely buy that, turn it into a Buckycaster, and it would be like a really good Buckycaster. Rock on! Not quite done yet. I just noticed there when I took the strap off. So yeah. So I'll show you how the pros fix that. Kebab skewer. In the hole. Snap it off. Yep. Yep. And then you take this, and I didn't actually look at a screwdriver before I did this, but then you just screw it back in again. And this doesn't damage your vintage guitar in any way, and it doesn't. Those kebab screws were dead useful. This is totally not. Use a bigger screwdriver than this wee stupid thing. Just there we go. Just I noticed when I was taking the strap off. So there you go. Good as new. We tech tip. I mean, you can put glue and all that in, but you put a piece of wood in, and as you put it in, it's obviously expanding it into the hole. So that's as good as new, and it takes 2 seconds to sort. The number of times that people have got guitars and it's like it's forever wobbling, they're forever screwing it back in again and out again. Kebab skewer. Rocket!